Good afternoon, everybody. So today we'll be having a discussion, an entire unit on feature writing. We'll be diving into the world of feature writing. So unlike hard news, feature writing allows us to actually explore stories, okay, with depth, may lalim, with creativity, and at the same time, seeing through the human interest. So basically it's about telling stories that resonate, inform, and at the same time entertain readers. When I say resonate, yung bang familiar, okay, familiar sa pandinig. Um, you get to relate with the story and be informed and at the same time be entertained. So for today's discussion, we'll have several topics. We'll have three lessons in this particular feature writing unit. Oops, sorry. Why can't I? Ayan, next slide. Lesson 1 natin will be hard news, okay? Soft news, hard news versus soft news. We'll also discuss definition of feature writing and functions of a feature, the different characteristics of feature, and the types of feature. Then we'll move with lesson 2, which is covering choosing the theme, the substance of a feature, feature topics, and the structure of a feature. After lesson 2, we'll proceed with lesson 3, in which we'll be discussing how to write the lead, how to write the body, how to write the conclusion of a feature article or a feature story, and the different writing steps. All right? So let's proceed now with lesson 1. So this is hard news versus soft news. Let's distinguish between hard news and soft news, all right? So hard news, according to the slides, it's the standard fare for most newspapers. It's actually what most newspapers have. It's just the hard news. And there are just a few parts na soft news ang pinapakita natin. While hard news is objective, direct, and factual, we have, on the other hand, soft news, which is usually associated with human interest. And opposite of being objective, it is subjective and it is featureized. So what's the difference between the two? Hard news is objective, it is direct, and it focuses on timely events. It's timely. So for instance, you're reporting on the results of the recent student council elections na natapos na o kakatapos lang, diba? It's because it's timely and you want to present the direct information or the factual information, you call that a hard news. But on the other hand, when you say soft news or features, you dive into or you focus into the human side of the story. So it's still about student council elections, right? But you want to focus more on the human side of it, not just the information about the results, who won, which party emerges winners. You want to give your readers the human side of the story. So let's say, for example, you're writing an article exploring how the student council plans to implement their platforms, especially the ones who won. Or you may highlight personal anecdotes and their aspirations in order to give your readers the human side of the story, because that's what soft news is about, okay? So understanding the distinction between the two will help you decide the appropriate approach that you want to use for your stories. Do you want to use hard news, straight news, just simply um, um, writing a news and telling the stories of the information they need to know, or if you want to give them the soft news, focusing on more human interests, okay, being more personal with your readers, then it's up to you to decide. So that's basically how we differentiate hard news versus soft news. So according to Frank Luther-Mott, he defined hard news as interesting to human beings. It's interesting. But soft news, it's interesting because it deals with life of human beings. And according to Gay Tuckman, he differentiated hard news from that of soft news by saying that hard news is concerned with important matters. Ano yung importanteng malaman? Well, soft news is concerned with basically ano yung interesting, ano yung babasahin nila, um, what could they prefer reading. Yun yung hard news and soft news. So kayo ba, pag sa pagsusulat, kayo ba yung mas tipong gusto nyo pakita anong importante or pakita ano yung mas interesting for the others, right? So that's basically what hard news and soft news are, right? And then let's get to see the structure of both hard news and soft news. In terms of story structure, right? The hard news follows the inverted pyramid. So pinag-aralan natin to sa news writing, right? So the most important part of the story ang nasa taas, and you tell more about this, kaya mas malaking portion ng triangle yun nandun sa taas, and papaliit. Ibig sabihin, pakaunti din ng pakunti yung nire-reveal mo as far as the lesser important parts of the story. Yun ang hard news. You want to present the most critical information, the most important information first. And then the less important information, of course, you want to reserve that in the last part. Whereas soft news, wala tayong triangle, ibig sabihin they're of equal importance, right? Yung soft news natin or feature news or feature stories, they adopt more of a narrative structure, okay? So, may pagka-narrative ang structure natin sa soft news. So, kagaya na nakalagay dito, details are in chronological order. Pwede rin siyang logical order or narrative order. It's like you're building up to the main point. Hindi siya yung nasa unahan kagad yung main point, but you're building up to the main point, allowing your readers to journey with you through the story. Parang sinasama mo sila dun sa istorya. So, for example, a hard news might state, let's say, for example, the school held its annual intramurals yesterday. Yun lang information. Ano ang nangyari sa intramurals? Sino nag-hold ito? The school. When was it held? Yesterday. Just plain information. No? Kung ano yung pinaka-importanting information about the intramurals held yesterday, yun yung nasa taas. Whereas, kapag feature, you might begin with, let's say, for example, cheers echoed through the campus as students showcased their athletic prowess through these much-anticipated intramurals. So nakita nyo, ang daming playful words na ginamit. Marami kang binibigay na descriptions instead of just stating kailan ito nangyari. Alright? Ano nangyari na intramurals sa school campus. Pero you even mentioned how cheers echoed, how you could hear the cheers everywhere. So ganoon ang soft news, alright? You're leading your readers into a story. So let's proceed and continue with the definition, with a more definition of feature writing. Let's describe it some more. So when you say feature writing, you can think of a feature story na para siyang news story. Okay, it's like a news story, pero it's written like a short fiction. Parang may storya siya. Balita, pero may storya. So you must combine the rigors of factual reporting, na dapat meron pa ring facts, while you still allow your creative freedom. Okay? Similar to how you write a short story. Meron kang facts, and at the same time, you still have your creative freedom. So you're not just stuck with just presenting the important information, but you can actually write creatively. So also in feature writing, the downside is that readers would have to read the whole story before they could understand it. Unlike hard news, okay, or yung mga straight news natin, sa umpisa pa lang, sa lead pa lang, or first paragraph pa lang after the lead, you can already tell the entire story or what transpired in the event. Kasi the most important parts or the most important information nasa taas na kaagad, di ba? Pero sa feature writing, dahil siya ay you're building up to the main point, hindi mo kaagad makikita sa umpisa pa lang yung mga importanteng information. You have to read the entire article para maintindihan mo yung kabuuan ng pangyayari. So that's basically one of the downside kapag ang pinili mong approach in writing the news is pa-soft news or tinatawag nating feature story. Nagbabalita ka pero because you're not writing in an inverted pyramid manner, kailangan mabasa muna ng readers mo, ng mambabasa mo, yung buong article para maintindihan nila yung buong story. So unlike yun nga, hard news, inverted pyramid siya, kahit nasa gitna ka pa lang or nasa taas ka pa lang ng inverted pyramid mo ng pag-present ng information, nakikita na kagad nila yung kabuuan ng storya. Alright? So, feature writing, again, it's like you're crafting a short story. Sa umpisa, hindi mo kagad magigets pa. Pero, as you go on reading, you'll eventually know what the story is about. But feature writing is just not so similar with that of short story kasi it's still grounded in factual reporting. May factual reporting pa rin. Okay, so you're combining storytelling, you're engaging your readers, you're making them feel and think and connect with you through your narrative, pero still you're giving them important information. Right? So let's have functions of a feature. Ano ba yung different functions ng feature? Una, different functions ay it functions to humanize. Ibig sabihin, you bring stories to life through personal experiences. Okay? Ginagawa mong parang human yung experience how they read the stories. You add color, meaning you're using vivid descriptions, like painting a picture, nakikita nila, na-visualize nila, they can imagine what's happening. You're educating them, you're providing insights and information, you're giving them facts, right, to learn, kaya educating siya eh. It's a function of feature writing. Also, another function of feature writing ay to entertain. So you want to engage your readers with a narrative, with a compelling narrative, a compelling story. And at the same time, it illuminates, okay? Function of feature writing, it sheds light to lesser known topics. Nakakapagbigay ng insights sa mga topic na hindi naman ganun napapansin pero meron pala siyang importansya. So these are the different functions of a feature. It humanizes, it adds color, it educates, it entertains, and it illuminates. So we have these 5 functions of a feature. Moving on, meron tayong characteristics of a feature, right? Actually, features are crafted to hook the readers, okay? So you want to draw them into the story. It may not always be current events or timely events, but what's important with a feature story is you provide an in-depth look at the subject. Mas malalim na pagtingin doon sa topic. So while features can present viewpoints, meron siyang opinions, okay, they still should remain grounded in facts. Yun yung one of the most important characteristics of a feature story or a feature writing. So let's get to know more about feature writing. Una, it's written to hook the readers. Ito yung binabanggit ko kanina. Kailangan you can hook them, draw them into the story. It may or may not be tied to a current event. Pwedeng current issue siya or current event siya, pwede rin namang hindi. So hindi ka natatali doon. It may often be longer than a traditional news story. Mas mahaba siya. Kasi nga, you're providing an in-depth look at the subject. Eh. Mas pinapalawig mo, mas pinapalalim mo isang topic. You're not just presenting basic facts, but basically you're presenting an in-depth analysis of a certain topic. Kaya mas mahaba siya. So basically, it's longer than a traditional news story. At pwede siyang magbigay ng opinion. Alright? At meron siyang magbigay ng opinionated view. However, dahil siya ay feature writing pa rin at journalism pa rin tayo, despite the fact na kailangan mo i-hook ang readers, kahit hindi siya current event, pwede siyang humaba, pwede siyang magbigay ng opinion, still, you have to remain grounded in your facts, okay? So that's what's very important in feature writing. So also, yung pag-humanize, pag-add color, educate, entertain, illuminate, ayan, yan yung mga mahalagang bagay. Binanggit natin ito kanina, right? So, ayan. Naulit lang yung slides. Ano pang importante sa isang feature story? Ang feature story, also called feature article, pwede natin siyang tawagin feature article or simply tawagin natin siyang feature. So it is a piece of journalistic writing that covers selected in-depth issue. So may issue, pinapalalim natin siya, binabigyan natin siya ng in-depth presentation. That's what you call a feature. Or isang topic, isang subject, we're going through the details, we're going through the in-depth analysis or in-depth description or definition ng isang topic, isang subject, isang bagay, then but that's what a feature is, okay? Also, ilan pang mga bagay about feature story is that it emphasizes on human interest, yung bagay na interesado tayong mga tao. Okay? Hindi lang basta isang topic lang, pwede gawin ka ng feature. Kung hindi siya interesting to many, interesting to people, then you're not in a good track para magsulat ng feature article about this. Okay? At isa pang trabaho ng isang feature story ay it has to give a fresh angle. Right? Sa balita kasi, ang angulo lagi dito ay nakatuon sa kung sino, saan, kailan, right? Ano, right? Yung mga basic information na binibigyan natin sa lead pa lang. So, ang angle lagi ay most of the time ano yung mga information na kailangang malaman. But when you're writing a feature story, your goal is to give the fresh angle. Yung angle na hindi basta-basta nakikita lang dun sa common na saan, kailan, ano, sino. Right? And also, for a feature story, para maging compelling siya, you have to make your readers think and care. Right? So, ilan yan sa mga characteristics ng isang feature story or ng feature writing. Okay, meron kang particular issue, you emphasize on human interest, you find a fresh angle that makes readers care, right? So example, instead of just reporting on a school's new library, report mo ano yung bagong building na to, kailan to ginawa, kailan na-approve, alright? In writing a feature story, you might explore how this space, itong bagong library nito has become a haven, all right, for students seeking peaceful place and a place to gain knowledge and so on, right? So there you go. Let's move on to the different types of features. There are the various types of features actually, and these includes itong mga to personality profiles. Una, these are profiles highlighting individuals like a dedicated school janitor with an aspiring stories, halimbawa ganon, or a dedicated teacher who's been teaching for 35 years. Personality profiles, you're highlighting individuals, their personalities, their lives, okay? Another type of feature are human interest stories, such as touching tales, okay? Kanya, it appeals to the emotion, it arouses sympathetic interest. So stories such as, example, students rallying to support a classmate in need. Mga students promoting or running in the streets, marching in the streets to make people uh, to make people be aware of the needs of their classmates para ipakita yung story niya. So may human interest kasi touching siya, parang ganun. So trend stories, example, trending restaurant, jobs, music, fashion, okay? So when we talk about trend stories, ito yung merong mga uso, okay? Mga usong mga bagay. Examples, new practices sa school events, o mga bagong gadgets, mga bagong kainan, yung mga nabanggit dito na bagong music, bagong trend, and so on. Pwede rin naman siyang analysis stories. Analysis stories digs deep into the facts and details of a story. May pag-a-analyze, okay? May pag-i-explain. So it is in which you're providing in-depth examinations or in-depth explanations. Example, impact of online learning sa student performance. Meron kang analysis about the impact ng online learning sa achievement ng bata sa school. So, it's still a feature. Yan. Uri siya din siya ng feature, pero more on the analysis part. Alright? Other types of features, meron tayong tinatawag na interview article. Alright? Pag sinabi natin interview article, syempre, meron siyang Q&A format. And this is interviews with notable individuals or known individuals na sa tingin natin, interesadong mga tao. Meron tayong mga tinatawag na practical guidance o yung how-to guides. Step-by-step articles to, let's say, for example, how to start a school club, how to cook carbonara, or how to make a recording device, something like that. Another seasonal or holiday feature, stories tied to holidays or seasons. Example, feature about Christmas, feature about Valentine's Day, feature about Teacher's Day, mga ganon. Seasonal, right? Meron din tayong tinatawag na entertainment articles. So, you can write about reviews or previews of school concerts or reviews about music, reviews about movies. Ayan. Yan yung mga ilan sa mga uri pa ng features. Meron din tayong tinatawag na travelogue. So from the word itself, alam na natin siya, di ba? Travelogue, ito yung narratives about educational, let's say for example, may educational trip, may field trip, o kaya naman lugar na napuntahan nyo na you would like to share with the rest of the school campus. Yan, travelogue. Pwede kang gumawa ng travelogue. And it's also a type of a feature article. Meron din tayong tinatawag na personality sketches. Para rin siyang personality profile. These are brief portrayals of intriguing individuals, right? Meron din tayong tinatawag na interpretative features, providing these features are providing context to complex issues. Mga bagay na malalalim o komplikadong mga bagay na you'd like to analyze, you'd like to explain, feature pa rin siyang matatawag. Okay? So, let's move on now with the second part of the unit, yung lesson 2 natin. And with lesson 2, magsimula tayo sa choosing the theme. Now that we understand kung ano yung mga different types ng features, ano bang pinagkaiba ng feature with that of hard news, okay, anong dapat nating goal as function ng feature, let's move on now with how we choose the theme, paano tayo pumipili ng topic, okay, sa pagsusulat ng isang feature. So when selecting a theme, you have to ask yourself, has the story been done before? Nagawa na ba to? Baka naman lagi na lang to nasusulat, okay? Is the story of interest to the reader? Right? Interesting ba ito para sa mga mambabasa? Magiging patok kaya to sa mga mambabasa? Does the story have a holding power? Alright? Does it have a staying power? Ibig sabihin, kahit matagal na siya dun sa dyaryo na yon, hindi siya nalalaos. Okay? What makes the story worthy to be reported? Bakit siya mahalaga? Why is it newsworthy? The theme answers the question, so what? So, dapat natasagot mo yun yung sa itong topic na to, and then so what? Ano pang kailangan kong malaman? Okay? It is to ensure that the story is relevant and has impact. Okay? Right. So let's talk about substance of the feature. Ano dapat ang meron sa isang feature? Una, dapat meron siyang facts. Right? Pag sinabi nating facts, meron kang verified information. Dapat ang information mo ay totoo at napatunayang totoo. There has to be quotes. Ibig sabihin, bakit kailangan ng quotes? Kasi it adds authenticity. Kapag meron kang quotes, nararagdagan mo ng yung mga boses, different voices in your article, it adds authenticity. It makes your article authentic. There has to be descriptions. So, you have to have sensory details. Why? Para ma-immerse mo yung readers mo. For immersion. Right? Para dalang-dala mo yung readers mo, you're like bringing them into the story. There have to be anecdotes. So, there have to be short stories within. Alright? Because when you have anecdotes, you can illustrate points. Halimbawa, meron kang ina-explain. Para mas mapagaan mo yung explanation, you can tell them anecdotes. Alright? You can give opinions. So, when you give opinions, you can give perspectives. Right? Pero you have to remember that when you give opinions, it has to be appropriate. Hindi pwedeng inappropriate yung opinion mo or maisingit mo lang, maipush mo lang talaga. Alright? Another good substance of a feature is meron kang analysis. Alright? Analysis allows you to break down complex topics. All right. And you have to pay off with a conclusion. So, you have to have a satisfying end. So, ito yung mga bagay na meron dapat sa iyong feature. All right? Meron kang facts that are verified. Meron kang mga quotes to show how authentic your article is. Meron ka dapat descriptions. You're giving them a sensory experience. Meron kang mga short stories within. All right? Kung kung merong appropriate na stories to explain your thoughts or to explain some points. Merong opinions, you're giving your own perspectives. There's analysis. If there are complex topics, then you can break them down so that it can be more understood. At it has to have a satisfying ending. Right? So, ano example ng mga feature topics na pwede natin gawin? Potential topics are, say, for example, foreign exchange students, unusual hobbies, dirtiest jobs, fashion trends, right? Favorite movies, favorite celebrities, teacher features, bizarre food, ayan. So, yan yung mga ilan sa mga topics na pwede. Alright. So, ano ang structure ng isang feature? Medyo nabanggit natin ito kanina nung distinguish natin or pinag-differentiate natin yung hard news and soft news. So, sa feature structure, ang structure niya, meron kang beginning, meron kang middle, at meron kang end. So sa beginning, nandyan yung iyong lead, like any other news. It is the start of your feature. It starts with a premise or a theme. Meron kang parang it's thematic at the start, okay? In the middle is your body or your story development. It is where you present your information and opinions that back your point. Right? Yan yung pinakalaman ng pinaka-feature article. And sa dulo, sa end, meron kang conclusion. It brings your reader to a close. Okay? And you also try to go back to your lead kapag meron kang end. So basically, para siyang story. Alright? May beginning, may middle, may end. So let's get to know more about this. How do we write the beginning, the middle, and the end of a feature? Let's start with writing the lead. Writing the lead. Writing the lead is the most important part of the feature. Kahit naman sa news story, ito yung pinaka-crucial. It's your hook. Okay? So basically, yung first paragraph, the first paragraph mo, yung lead mo din, but it may include the second or even the third paragraph. Sa isang feature article, pwede kang may first, second, and third paragraph. Lead pa rin siyang matatawag. So it entices your readers. It hooks them in. And it uses drama, emotion, quotations, questions, and or descriptions. Alright? Ito yung bagay na nagbi-build ng story mo sa lead pa lang. It sets the tone. Yung pinaka ma-experience nila while reading the story, yung lead ang nagsaset noon. Alright? So, moving on. Yan. Ano yung mga attention-getting devices na pwede natin gamitin? Alright? Sabi natin, pwede tayong gumamit ng questions, di ba? Anecdotes, descriptions, or quotes, or surprising facts. Pero these are some other additional attention-grabbing devices. Okay? You can ask a question, okay? Unusual statement, make an unusual statement, describe a scene, present a conversation, you can tell a brief story, you can present a surprising or alarming statistic, you can refer to an event, either historical or current, and some other, pwede kang magbigay ng controversy or contradiction, you can use a quotation, an adage or a proverb, state an unusual opinion, you can give a riddle, bugtong, dialogue, or even an onomatopoeia. So example ng mga unusual statement, he's the only student who can solve a Rubik cube blindfolded. Parang kakaiba siya, di ba? So unusual siyang mangyari. So it can be a good lead. Pwede kang mag-describe ng scene, you set the atmosphere, or pwede kang maglagay ng conversation, like starting a dialogue. Or yung kanina sinabi natin, historical references, pwede mong i-link sa past events yung current story mo ngayon. right? So what's important to remember is that your lead sets the tone for the entire piece. So napakahalaga niya. Alright, so example ng lead dito, the young Egyptian professional could pass for any New York bachelor. Intriguing, unusual siya, di ba? So, and also you can describe, dressed in a crisp polo shirt and swatched in cologne, he races his Nissan Maxima through the rain-slicked streets of Manhattan, late for a date with a tall brunette. At red lights, he fuzzes with his hair. What sets the bachelor apart from the young men on the make is the chaperone sitting next to him, a tall bearded man in a white robe and stiff embroidered hat. All right, here are some samples. So the first sign of trouble was powder in the baby's urine. Then there was blood. By the time parents took their son to the hospital, he had no urine at all. Kidney stones were the problem. Doctors told the parents. The baby died on May 1 in the hospital just 2 weeks after the first symptoms appeared. His name was Yi Kai-shuan. He was 6 months old. So nakita nyo, sa hard news, sabihin mo lang sino namatay, ano naging sanhay ng pagkamatay, kailan namatay yung baby, and so on. But in a feature article, you want to play with drama, you want to play with human interest. So this is how the lead started. Diba? The first sign of trouble was powder in the baby's urine. Then there was blood. By the time parents took their son to the hospital, he had no urine at all. So you're building up to the story. Building up with the suspense. Ganun ang function ng isang lead. Right? The parents filed a lawsuit on Monday in the arid northwest province of Gansu, where the family lives, asking for compensation from Sanlu Group, the maker of the powdered baby formula that Tai Shuan had been drinking. It seemed like a clear-cut liability case since last month. Sanlu has been at the center of China's biggest contaminated food crisis in years. But as in two other courts dealing with related lawsuits, judges have so far declined to hear the case. Alright, so ang balita dito or ang issue dito is about the powdered milk na nag-cause na itong kidney problem na ito. But you did not right away start with this information. Binag-build ka muna ng drama with ano yung unang na-find ng parents, ano yung unang nilang nakita, and how the drama unfolded, right? So, ganun ang feature articles. Right? So, that's just basically part of the lead pa lang. So, ano bang mga lead na kailangan natin i-avoid? Una, trite dictionary lead. Yung according to Webster's Dictionary, huwag kayong gagamit ng mga ganyang klaseng lead, no? Hindi siya maganda. It's not intriguing, it's not compelling, hindi siya interesting. Yung mga dumb declarative lead na, it's official, pinasal na si ganito, ganyan, or it's official, the school announced like that. It's not a good lead. Mastery it lead. It's round, it's red, it's juicy. Mystery pala. Mystery it lead. Okay. Hindi masyadong maganda yung pang-mysterious. Okay, so avoid nyo itong mga ganitong klaseng lead na to. It's round, it's red, it's juicy. Para ba nagsasarade? It's not a good lead. Weird linkage or atypical lead. What did Boris Karloff, Jane Fonda, and Richard Nixon have in common? Ring around the collar. Who cares? Okay, bakit siya di maganda? Kasi pinagdudugtong mo yung mga bagay na hindi naman talaga um, mahalaga. Okay? So, ano naman kung merong silang ring around their collar? Like, what's so interesting about that? Wala. Okay? So, Jenny Jones looks like a typical college student, but she's really a world-class wrestler, a supermodel, or whatever. Okay? So, hindi siya ganun ka-compelling. There's nothing much interesting about the lead. So, you try to avoid that. The uninformative question lead. Avoid asking questions that might provoke the readers to respond. Like, who cares? Okay? Turn questions into short, informative statements instead. Okay? So, kung question na hindi naman din masasagot ng readers mo or um, it's nonsense to answer, instead of questions, you can transform it into informative statements na lang. Alright? Kasi if hindi siya kayang sagutin ng readers mo right there, or hindi siya parang yung questions with answers already, eh, it might mislead by your readers, okay? Di bali sana kung yung question is parang automatic yung answer or meron talaga siyang sagot na implied, okay? May mga ganun kasing klaseng questions, right? Na masasagot din kaagad. Pero kung pag-iisipin mo pa or magkakaroon pa ng different thoughts about that, baka ma-mislead pa through dun sa paragraphs, you can just be more direct with transforming it into a more informative statement. Right? So compare these leads. 21 teachers from across northern Luzon gathered at the University of Baguio February 24 to February 28 to learn techniques used to teach writing. So it's kind of more direct, mapaka-informative lang, pero there's not much of a feature in it. We can transform it like this. Teacher John de la Cruz cried as he composed a poem about his grandmother at the keyboard of a Macintosh computer in the basement of the University of Baguio Liberal Arts building yesterday. Right? So, ayan. Kukumparahin mo yung kanilang leads, hindi mo pa nababanggit kagad yung most important information kasi nasa lead pa lang tayo. Pero makikita mo, magiging interesado na kagad yung readers mo to read more about this. Okay? Unlike dun sa kanina, nabanggit mo na yung mga important parts. So, nothing much to tell na interesting. But in the leads na pinakita natin dun sa blue, it's a feature lead. You may not see important information yet or the most important information yet, pero you're trying to build up with the information and soon enough you want to follow and read some more para makita mo yung mga information pa na lalabas. Okay? So basically, mag-stop muna tayo dito and we'll continue the discussion. Kasi I only have a few minutes, alright, left. And meron na lang akong 1 minute remaining in the meeting. So I'll continue with the next video.